Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Fiers Femme, and today we are getting into the five tips that you need to know while you're on your locks journey, starting from the beginning to maybe a year, because I'm about to be a year, y'all. Next month on the 9th, I would have been a year locked. So I'm just giving you some tips from my experience so far and what I've been going through. So let's get into this video. But before you do get into the video, make sure you subscribe down below, hit that notification bell, make it black, and give me a thumbs up at the end of this video if you like the tips that I gave you. If you want to know a little bit more, hit me with some questions in the description box as well, and I will answer them personally and in a video for everybody else. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so the very first thing I want to talk about when you lock your hair, whether it's coils or two-strand twists, I will link that video in the description box below. I did a video on the differences. Whether it's both of them, I personally picked the two-strand twist because, like I said in a previous video, I wanted to saturate my hair every day. I have 4C hair, and just from having it out, I know that when I want to change the part or when I want to manipulate it some way, I had to wet it, right? Because when it's dry, it just hurts. It just hurts so much. So I decided to go with the two-strand twist because I wanted to wet my hair every day, okay? I wanted to be in the shower going like this, pretending I'm on somebody's beach, okay? So the very first tip, of course, for me will be wet your hair as much as you can. I'm gonna pop in some pictures right here. When I first got my locks, this is like day 1 of just finishing my locks. Yeah, they look really short, and I remember them being fluffy though. My hair was very conditioned. I washed it with like I washed it with clarifying shampoo that day, and then I washed it with moisturizing shampoo, and then I did a mask, and I also did conditioning. So I made sure my hair was like super rinsed out when I first started my locks, right? And I had my mom's assistance with doing them, my two-strand twists, because I was ready to do it by myself. But you know, I'm used to her doing my hair, as y'all could tell from all these videos I've been putting up. So she helped me with my two-strand, and I think it was no later than 2 weeks after that, or probably a week, is when I put my whole head under the water again. And I didn't use a stocking cap. I mean, it's my texture. I think some people do have to use stocking caps, but for me personally, I didn't use a stocking cap. I just kind of just stood underneath the water, let it run through my head. It had been years where I was wearing braids and all these protective styles, and I never used to wash my hair as much as I get to do now, which is like so much fun for me. But yeah, number 1, wet your hair as much as you can. Okay, number 2, and this is like the ultimate thing that should have been before wetting your hair, but commit to the process and take each stage as a learning lesson. Like for me, when I decided to lock up, it wasn't like for like a style reason or anything like that. I just felt like I got this voice said that, you know, this will help me on my spiritual growth. And so I just woke up and decided to lock my hair, being that I felt like it was something I was supposed to do, you know? So in that, I committed to the process. Now, I was not used to ever having basically no length of hair on my head. Like, that was, I think, the shortest I've ever rocked my real hair outside, like around people. And that might not have been a big deal to many people, but it was a big deal to me because it strips you of all things that you're so used to pretending, not pretending, but so used to like hiding behind in a way. Like, you know, your pink hair, your long hair, your ponytail, something, jewelry. Like, I was just raw with it, short hair. And then I was like, you know what, I could play up with my makeup and different things like that. So if you're starting to feel naked, you can do things like wear your wigs over it and things like that. But where I was on my journey, I felt like that would have been a cop-out for me personally. So yeah, just commit to the process and take each stage as a learning lesson, meaning you find so much shit to entertain yourself with because you no longer have to put your hands in your head 24/7 or whatever. And yeah, so that's definitely a learning process. I started to paint again. I started to draw again. I started to look up more stuff that dealing with some business that I want to drop for you guys and just to share with the world and to make sure I knock those things off my list, my bucket list. And it's just helping build like a new me again. And it's fun, okay? So I'm getting to know myself again. Like sometimes I feel like at a certain age we kind of just, you know, flopping around in the world, aimless, and then you hit 34 or so and your eyes just start clearing. Like you don't know what was going on, you don't know where you was at. So that's where I'm at right now. Like, okay, so the next tip, so number one was wet your hair as much as you can. And number 2 is commit to the process and take each stage as a learning lesson. So learn about yourself, learn something new, meet new people, go out there, do things you always wanted to do. Of course, it's coronavirus, so be safe with it. But, you know, get some stuff off your list that you promised to yourself. And then number 3 is, it's true what they say, too many products are not needed on your lock journey. And I will repeat, too many products are not needed on your lock journey because you know why? It just creates buildup. It creates buildup and it makes you not trust the process of having locks. Like I remember a lot of times when I see people locks, it'll be jam-packed of like gross shit. Like I remember my aunt, she's actually was a hairstylist and she would lock, you know, clients' hair and stuff like that, but they were using like these jams and stuff like that back then, and I would like see all the white stuff, and that's why I really didn't mess with locks at one point at all, because I was just like, as a little girl, I was just like, no, can't be me. So on this journey, on this process, I've learned that the less stuff you put in your locks, the better for you. Your head feels cleaner, you feel lighter, you don't feel disgusting. So for me, all I've used is water, rose water, sometimes essential oils mixed in those things. I have a light oil, that means not an oil that's too heavy. And if you do have castor oil, you should dilute it with some water, some essential oils. You know, alkaline water, shake it up, dilute that because it'll be too thick for especially some textures, and then some other textures it'll weigh it down. So I stick to light oils, and I give myself an oil treatment, which I will link in the box below on how I do it on my self-care days. That means when I'm washing, like when I'm doing my deep wash. Yeah, so you don't need a lot of products. You don't need Jamaican mango and lime. You don't need gels, you know, unless you gonna do your little baby hair. That's the most where I put product right there. I don't really put anything in my hair. Like right now, this is just water, lemongrass, aloe water mix that I made. And it's, yeah, full and nice and juicy. And then what I do is, if I want to switch my part, I literally wet my hair and just direct my hair in the direction it wants to go to. Of course, it falls back over, but it stays in place eventually. So number 3, it's true what they say, too many products are not needed for your locks. Number 4, keep your scarf nearby. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. Have one in your purse, have one in all your purses, and have one under your pillow. Have at least 4 in your room. because you just don't want to wake up looking cray-cray. I sometimes fall asleep without my scarf. I could say it happened like 5 times so far in my whole year journey. Say 5. And I try to make sure that doesn't happen because I don't want anything in them. I already have specks of gray hair in my locks, so I don't want other things like lint and dog hair and whatever attaching to my locks and having to give me a problem later on down the line when they get longer. But yeah, they looking real good today. Okay. And then my last tip is have fun and take lots and lots and lots and lots of pictures, especially your first year. Like, you're gonna notice different changes, and I think sometimes you don't notice the change when you are yourself looking at yourself every day, but then you'll see like other people come and see like, oh, your hair's getting long, or well, I like your locks, and they don't say twist or anything like that. It's like, I like your locks. I remember when I was at your stage and different things like that. So have fun, takes lots of pictures. And and an added tip is you can style your hair. You could style your hair in any type of styles, because for me, as long as you're not tugging your hair and ripping your hair to the extent like pulling it back in ponytails all the time. I'm not talking about doing it every day, but say like you have somewhere you want to go and you want to look different, you can style your hair in the beginning. You can style your hair at 6 months. You can style your hair at 7 months. It's not gonna do anything to your locks. It's not gonna mess it up. Of course, you're not gonna want to do it all the time, but like I said, for special moments when you want to go out. So I'll probably style my hair once a month, and I'll probably only keep it in for 3 to 4 days max, and then I'll take it out and let it swell back up and do what it does. Your hair is gonna lock regardless. You just have to trust the process. If some open, retwist them. If some open, recoil them. Like, just keep doing it over and over and over, because you're training your hair, you're training the lock to stay together. You're training it to compile instead of being a separate, separate hair, separate pieces of hair. Like, this is thousands of pieces of hair in this one lock, you know what I mean? So you're training your hair to get uniform and be used to these clumps. So that's all that is. And when my hair starts to fall out like this, I can either do a soft little style with it, or I could just let my afro be on the top and just wet it and make it look really cute and presentable like I did today. You just have to embrace the stick outs. You have to embrace the teenage stage. You have to embrace the baby stage. You have to embrace the frizz, guys. The frizz does not go anywhere. I think it does come together a little bit when you start training it to go around the lock and stuff like that, but our hair is frizzy, you know what I'm saying? Your hair's frizzy, it's tangling up, it's gonna have some frizz, there's nothing you can do about it. Because when you clip around, take off all the frizz, that takes away body, that makes it look skinny, doesn't make any sense to do nothing like that. So yeah, so those are my 5 tips for the first year of your lock journey. Don't be stressed about it or anything like that. Just kind of go with the flow. Start a journal, take pictures, scrapbook. I Snapchat all the time, and I don't post a lot of those stuff, but I keep them for my own records, so you can do stuff like that. And that way later on you could like assist somebody else, whether it be people out in the World Wide Web, or your mama, or your sister, or your homegirl, or your brother. Anybody you can help with these tips. So hope this is very helpful, and I'll see you in another one. Later.